Jack from INKISH TV, and we're going to talk a little bit of sales in flexography. We're here at Mark Andy's, and I have the pleasure of talking to Phil Baldwin. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Fantastic, thank you for having us.
It's great to have you here.
Welcome on INKISH TV.
Thank you.
So, yeah, as I was saying, let's talk a little bit of sales. I mean, flexography, you have a new machine that has been launched here today. So give us a little bit of insight on how the market is today for your flexo machines.
It's a very buoyant market for us. Digital is continuing its growth. Digital hybrids are growing. What we're seeing in the flexo market, as the digital hybrids are taking the traditional narrow web, 13-inch, 17-inch, the flexo machines are going wider. So 20-inch, 510 millimeters, 560 millimeters for label presses, longer runs, bigger throughput, mid-web 660 mil, a lot of manufacturers now make for the flexible packaging, board presses and the likes. The label market itself though is still very strong. Lots of labels going back to pressure sensitive because of the plastic tax, trying to eliminate plastics out production. And yes, the new Pro range we have. So
yeah, I was looking before when you were running the machine. But as you say, like, is that a correct statement if we say that a lot of the, let's say, the high volume work is basically not returning but still staying on the flexo machines, and they go a bit wider, as you said, and then let's say the smaller runs where you have to be a bit more nimble, that they are directing towards the hybrid machines?
A lot of that's going to sort of that market segment, the 330 mil. The Pro range, like with our Evolution range, is available in 330 or 430. A lot of the label runs, the bigger high volume, so low margin, is going to the wider presses, but there's still a huge amount of short run work where a customer hasn't maybe got into the digital business yet. So something like the Pro range is ideal. This is geared for low waste, high throughput and efficiency, quick setup. So enable somebody that has what we call a legacy machine, so mechanical press, to move into that full servo market. So reduce their waste, increase their throughput. So you can still run the shorter runs efficiently through a machine like this compared to an older mechanical press with longer setup, higher waste, because margins are coming down, cost of all the materials are going up. So something like this is ideal. We've actually designed the Pro series to go with our Digital Pro Max, which is our latest offering on digital toner. So the machine's designed, it could run left to right or right to left. So somebody, say, who only has digital machines, they're only used to running right to left, we can configure the machine for that. You could start with, say, a 6-color and then decide to put the digital module in the middle. So you can upgrade through time
to
have a digital hybrid.
Customizable.
Absolutely. It's fully modular. Each unit's an individual module. Each unit has its own operator control. We also have the master control, so you can control it from the end or each individual station. You could start with a 4-color, add 2 extra stations, add 2 extra stations. Yeah.
So where do you see basically, you're introducing this new machine, of course, here now at your open house day. So basically, is that a correct statement that, let's say, the basis, if you go to the hybrid machines, is more or less same type, or where is the big difference in the flexo engine, let's say, versus the hybrids?
So, I mean, what we're offering, that something like the Digital Series HD, that's designed for like companies who've got a lot more digital work, a lot more book of business, you're running double shifts, triple shifts. Something like this, if say you're a smaller company, you want to move up your flexo, become more efficient, something like the Pro Series is ideal. You then want to move up to digital, you could have the roll-to-roll Pro Max, you could then integrate it into your flexo machine to make a hybrid. So it just gives the customer a clear path for the smaller customers. Perhaps your budget isn't as large as the bigger groups. You can gradually grow, and as you grow, you can grow with us. There's then the options if you start gaining filmic work, for example, or aluminium or lamy tubes. You could then move from the Pro series to the Evolution series. A lot of the target for this is customers will have, say, a Performance Series P7, very highly specified machine, combination materials from 12 micron PET, 400 micron board.
Yeah,
But they're holding this machine up with the label work. So it's basically taking up capacity on a more expensive, much higher specified press. So you could go for something like this. It's still using the same technology
to offload on.
to quick change. So offload. So you can free up the capacity on your more expensive machine, because you're not necessarily going to want to invest, say, another €1 million in another big machine when you can
run the right work on the right machine.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it enables you to give capacity, or again, as I mentioned, for emerging countries or smaller converters that need to move up to the servo market but don't necessarily have the budget to buy this all singing, all dancing machine.
Exactly.
It enables them to have the same competition, almost the same competitive edge, with low waste, quick changeover. All the tooling as well is interchangeable. So if you currently have an Evolution series or Performance series, you don't have to invest again in a whole new tooling package. Or if you start with this and then move to an Evolution series or Performance series,
You can use it.
everything's interchangeable. All the tooling's interchangeable.
Awesome. Maybe just a last question to you. Like, we hear there are the big groups forming, and there's consolidation also in the label packaging world. So we were talking earlier, sometimes you see machines like moving upstream, let's say, maybe from even to another continent with some installations. So what have you seen recently in, let's say, the evolution of the market that you work in?
Yeah, so we're seeing almost a weekly basis. The larger groups are buying up the medium companies, they're being absorbed. Sometimes with the customers with the medium company, they're used to the personal touch. They call up, they know the name of the person. With the bigger groups, because of the size, that's not always possible. So some of these customers are then moving to the smaller companies, which are then growing to then become medium companies. So eventually they will be then brought into these larger companies. Or we're seeing a number of companies that are being taken over by a larger group. People are breaking off because they don't like the bigger corporate structure and starting their own company. But they need to start somewhere. So normally a second-hand machine, and the next step from that is something like the Pro series, or investing in an Evolution series to start the business.
Okay, well, fantastic. Thank you for the information, and have a good day.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Bye.